SubX with me, Jetty. So, this is my subscriber playthrough. So, not so long ago, well, actually a little while ago now, the channel hit 5,000 subscribers. When it hit 5,000 subscribers, I wanted to do something to celebrate you guys. Those that have stopped and clicked the subscribe button and basically like grown the channel, enjoyed the content so much that you'd take the time and the effort to click the subscribe channel, even though I don't remind people all the time. But this is the point where I actually remind you that if you haven't clicked subscribe, now is the time to do so. Two reasons. One, in this particular playthrough, I'm actually using the YouTube API to grab any subscribers' public names that I can and put them into Factorio. So what I've actually done here, and I actually have to thank Bozomitu George Cosmin for clicking the subscribe button, because between the last episode being 36 and this episode being 36½, where I do my weekly recap, his SubX spaceship was actually completed and has been launched off to space. So it's currently waiting on intergalactic mailing conditions, but it should arrive to him shortly. At least that's the hope. I didn't pay for insurance on these things. They're expensive enough as is. So this playthrough is about SpaceX. SpaceX the mod, because I figured launching one rocket per subscriber would be boring, because that'd be like 5, 6, 7,000 rockets at worst case scenario. This one I launched 23 rockets full of 23 very expensive parts per subscriber. And of course, clicking the subscribe button does two things. One, it guarantees you your very own spaceship. On top of that, every single time I complete a spaceship, that's the only time I actually get space sites. Well, that, and if I have nothing else to launch and I have to launch a satellite, which sort of feels like a waste of rocket components to build another rocket. Yeah, that's the only other time when I actually get space sites, and that's just 1,000. Whereas when I'm launching a completed spaceship, I get the current number of subscribers on the channel minus however many I've already launched. So in the case of currently, it's whatever it happens to be. You can scroll down and look at the total subscriber count, and at the same time you can click the subscribe button and subtract 13 off that, because that's all we've launched so far. We have a few bottlenecks that I need to take care of. Quite a few. And we've done some improvements this week, but we're going to have to do more improvements next week, obviously. So, yeah, that's sort of the premise for this series. And as for this week's content, well, we did a couple of things. I'm going to go out to bat for you because it's going to be easier than trying to run around. We built an off-site production. All of this up here produces one thing. It produces low-density structures. It has a lot of copper hooked up to it and a lot of iron hooked up to it. And at the same time, we also played with a new feature that is part of Factorio Extended. So we're actually running Factorio Extended Plus. Well, we're running a couple of mods. We're running, obviously, the mini-me miners, the mining depots, because they're cute. That's really the only excuse I have. They're cute. I imagine eventually we'll hit a UPS limit with these guys, and we'll have to go back to traditional miners. But in the meantime, I'm going to keep running these guys because they're cute. At the same time, we use the stacking belt boxes. So this takes in pure copper ore and actually stacks them into a stack of 25. So think of it like loading a pallet. It then takes that pallet load of copper ore and runs it on the belt and into our smelters. And when it gets there, we're just smelting the whole pallet included, like pallet base, the whole lot just goes straight in the smelter, pops out the other side, obviously on a brand new pallet, and comes out as a stack of compressed copper ore. And I'll actually look at these ones in here, and you can see there's 3 copper plates in there, which actually represent a stack of 25. So we're taking 25 copper ore, making a single one of these little things in here, 3 stacks stacked together, and then bring them out the other end as a stack of 25 copper plates. We're also doing the exact same with plastic, which, hang on, let's zoom in. We're doing the same with plastic, and we're doing the same with steel, and we're then running them in to make low density structures, which are also compressed. So they, again, give us a full pallet load of low-density structures, which then pop out the other end, and we can load onto a train. Realistically, the only changes it's done is, rather than a train being able to fit, say, 50 ore per slot, it can now fit 250 ore per slot. Overall smelting time makes no difference. Overall number of machines makes no difference. it's just really less belts. To do this, I'd really need 3, 4, maybe 5 blue belts. I can minimize it down to just 1 belt. And I just realized that's not running. And that's not running. And that's... Jedi, you failed in your blueprinting. Oh, that doesn't even have power. And I don't ship power. I ship substations. There we go. I put a substation. Okay. So yeah, we started making a whole bunch of compressed low density structures, because that was one of the things actually holding up our rocket silo. Once we had them, we actually had to build some sort of smart system to bring them into the main base so we actually launch rockets. So I took my compressed low density structures and I built a smart train station. And it is very smart. It's using Locator's Train Supply Manager mod, which is also the creator of the SpaceX mod, which, well, Train Supply Manager is on the mod portal, and actually my custom version of SpaceX is down in the description. It has actually been there for a while. I think it's set to like 7,000 or 8,000. They're not named subscribers. They're just a goal of 8,000 launches. Although, you know, it's down there if you want to get it, you want to modify it. I think it's open to modification. That's something you'd have to look on the mod portal. I accept no responsibility or any support for the actual mod itself, because I'm not a programmer. This is why I asked Locator, the creator of the mod, to actually do the changes I wanted for this playthrough. Anyway, as I was trying to say, this train brings down, as I said, these low density structures in stacks of 25, which of course are going to uncompress to stacks of 250. So for the record, because low density structures stack in stacks of 10, this one tile here represents that's 100, that's 200, that's 250. So it means rather than me having to have a massive train to move around low density structures, I can do it in a much smaller train. And it's actually bringing it here, unloading a box, moving it into a belt box, stacking uncompressor box, which then moves it over here, which means the rocket silo can finally use them. So, and this is a 100% on-demand smart system. So this train pops down here, it waits till it's empty, and then if we get less than 1,000 low-density structures, yes, less than 1,000 low-density structures in the whole network, the train gets reordered to come down here and unload again. So it's a 100% smart system. Being smarts, it took me a little while to set up because Jedi's not good at smarts, but I managed to get it running in the end, which means if I can do it, anybody can do Train Supply Manager. It's mostly GUI based, so you know you've got that advantage. So next thing we actually got done this week is we have, this is our main bottleneck up here. This is making the most expensive part of the SpaceX mod. This is making the what are they called? Fast and light drives. Fast and light drives. So this little thing here takes us forever to craft. Not really forever to craft. The crafting time on it's pretty low. It's only 50 seconds. The catch is it needs 500 blue circuits, which is cheap. Honestly, it's cheap. We're making like 8,000 per minute. It requires 100 low density structures. Again, pretty cheap. We're making plenty of those now. It requires 500 of each of the different modules in a level 3 variety, which is expensive. It's hella expensive. It is actually what is slowing down the base at the moment. We were averaging about one of these per hour. I actually think with the upgrades we did this week, we're doing one... we're doing 2 per hour. 2 per hour. We did one here 14 minutes ago. Another one over here 42 minutes ago. So we're doing about 1 per... Or about 2... Yeah, about 2 per hour. About 1 per half hour. So that's as fast as we've managed to get this to go currently. This got upgraded to all productivity 6 modules, so we're making green circuits with productivity 6s, which means this one machine here actually outputs 2 blue belts worth of green circuits, and it only needs 1 smelter to feed it, which is just awesome. Same with these guys. This is 3 smelters into 3 of these, producing 6 belts of green circuits. Our red circuit build, same story. It needs a belt of green circuits at like 45-ish 60-ish per second, a belt of plastic, and then we're running these in to make red circuits and then bring them all back out and trying to make modules as fast as possible. But yeah, nearly 500 of each means it takes a while. It takes a long while to get these things up and running, and it's actually something we're probably going to have to look at again over the next couple of weeks of either making this go faster or building a whole nother one, because that's sort of the situation we're at. We need these to go faster. They are our bottleneck. We also set up a auto trash station. So if I come up here, I have a trash station right here, and if we just get rid of 2 bits of wood, we can see the trash train just got turned on and is scheduled to come up here and pick up whatever's in this trash station. So it means if I don't like the look of the trees in the local neighborhood, I can just deconstruct them and a train will magically show up and take them away. Same story is if I see something wrong with something, I can just trash it. Also technically means this train that I have here, removing the fast and light drives and shipping them back to base. I could actually do that with the trash train as well. Just have a requested chest that shoves it in the storage chest, which activates the train station, and have it pick up items that way. So, you know, it's versatile. There's lots of options. The other big thing we set up this week was a auto resupply station. So this one is chock full of smarts, and it does a couple of things. If we turn off alt mode so we can see things a little bit easier, it brings in our... Get out of the way. It brings in our mini-me miners, our lasers, our substations, our roboports, power poles, and a radar, which meant that I could actually build another roboport down here and a couple more roboports down here to actually extend this network out. At the same time, it has actually started doing resupply missions for, like, over here where these depots were slightly built a little bit too close to the train tracks, and the mini-me's keep accidentally having a few deaths as they run back and forth across the trains. You think they'd use safe crossings, but no, they just keep dying as they walk across the train tracks. We actually have an auto resupply for these guys. So, you know, the cost of doing business, the cost of mining on the train tracks, because somebody put ore literally under the train tracks. Yeah, these have an auto resupply, so as they accidentally meet their demise, they get restocked with new mini-me's to keep the system running. But at the same time, we're also delivering out like roboports, so I can put down this station and then, as I did down here, add the roboports to make sure we have coverage. Auto brings out radars, because like I should really have a radar down here and I forgot. So that radar is going to fly out to there, which then means this station... It is that station, isn't it? Oh, there's a couple of radars in there. Okay, put down 2 more radars. There we go. This station gets activated because there's now not enough radars in the network, and a new train gets sent out to bring in new radars. And if I trash them, it's going to have a conniption, but once the trash train picks them back up, this guy will then get sent back out to resupply them. Yeah, it allows me to know that once I've done an outpost, it's self-sufficient. It will, yes, it'll like get turned back on, so the train's being scheduled to come back out to put radars into the network. But yeah, it means that each outpost, once I've done with it, it's self-sufficient. Lasers will get replaced, repair packs will get replaced. Mini-me's, should they meet their demise mining over railway tracks, will also get replaced. What else do we replace? We also replace robots. Should robots die, they also get replaced. Lasers, substations, roboports, all that sort of stuff. Repair packs. So yeah, a real smart station just to take care of business, make sure things get resupplied, so we can see impending attacks. Oh, there we go. Congratulations, you built SpaceX SubX spaceship. Bob, your trusted construction bot, has now departed with the spaceship and is delivering it now. Yep, like I said, intergalactic traveler, intergalactic shipping. I accept no responsibility. Bob, the construction robot, is in charge of your spaceship. We're just hoping for the best because he did not pass flight school. So now I'm going to get back to building. Yes, I can launch faster. And we just launched number 14. Kylie Devoe was just launched. So again, what I'm actually doing is every single episode where a launch goes off, I'm putting those people's... Every single episode where we launch a ship, which is pretty much every episode now. Actually, I think it is every episode now. I'm actually putting the people that we launch names down in the description. And of course, thanking them for their subscription. But that's sort of what we got for the week. Because we did a lot of smarts, it took a little bit longer. But, you know, JD is not great at smarts. Oh, that was one other thing we managed to do. We upgraded our blue circuits for our module build. So, this was our bottleneck for our productivity module 6s, which are now running at the slightly increased speed of 1.3 per minute, which is still slow. This is actually one of our big things holding us back. If I go to logistics and I type in module, actually no, I've got 200 in my inventory. I got another 145, so maybe we have enough to go off and do some bigger projects. But yeah, as you can see, like this had a shortage on blue circuits. Blue circuits are caught up because some of these machines started turning off. Yeah, we need to do more upgrades throughout the base and do more productivity module 6s. Productivity module 6s are really saving us. But yeah, I need to look at some... I need modules faster. I need fast and light drives faster. I need to probably in the not too distant future actually set up a off-site rocket launching system where we have 23 different rocket silos all set up to launch exactly one of these items and only launch if they're required. So we'll have all these items go off in 23 separate rockets and just bang, 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 done. Once that one's done, we'll launch the next one. But that requires me to go up to like 23 rockets per even 10 minutes, which we're not close to because the fast and light drives are still holding us back. On top of that, if we actually go up to where we're launching stuff from, a lot of this stuff is still buffered. Honestly, we started buffering up SpaceX components awfully early, and we're slowly eating through our buffers. Yeah, the base can't quite keep up. Anything that requires speed modules, or like these require fusion reactors. Like do you happen to have a spare 100 fusion reactors laying around? Because I don't. I've converted mine into fusion reactors, which we're launching into space. Happen to have 100 spare Energy Shield Mark 2s laying around? I don't either. We're converting them as parts and launching them off into space. Yeah, the base is slowly eating through its stockpile of reserved items. Basically, anything that requires speed modules is currently our bottleneck inside the base. And that's just down to, we're out of red circuits because we're just eating them with all the different components. And nope, we hit a new bottleneck of rocket control units. So probably next week will be rocket control units off-site. Somewhere it's going to be more circuit builds. So look for iron, look for copper, look for oil to make plastic and coal. So a couple of components and whack those together. And yeah, off-site rocket control units. Anyway, like I said, that's it for this week's recap. There's been a lot happening this week. There's going to be a lot more happening next week. We got, I don't even know. I can't remember how many launches we start off the week with. But if we've done 14 so far, and I think we started launching last week. No, we started launching basically at the end of last week. So we've done pretty much 14 launches in a week. And we're just trying to accelerate from here. Look, don't get me wrong. There's still a lot to go. And as I said, thank you to everybody who's clicking the subscribe button and adding to my list, my torture, extending the series. Oh, there was one other thing we added, which was, can I find a train station? Autobot and P. Sullivan and I'm That Guy Jason. So another mod I actually installed is, I can't remember the mod name. Customized backer names. I actually dragged it from version 17 up to version 18, and now you'll see all these stations that just make no sense, like Saltlands and Joey Messy Pants. They're all my Twitch subscribers and Patreon supporters. So anybody who is one of those two people and actually helps out the channel financially, which is mainly, like, honestly, it's completely spent on the channel. So it's computer hardware, it's software, it's all those things. It's one of the reasons why this video is now in 1440p, because the PC got an upgrade and I can actually start recording in 1440p, which is more definition for you guys to watch. But yeah, not only do the supporters get bigger and better, more expensive spaceships with, like, you know, they're going to take a while longer to launch. Yeah, if anybody's played with Factorio Extended before, you'll understand how much more expensive some of this stuff is. Yeah. So not only did they get that, they also have a chance of being randomly selected as a station name. So anytime I'm putting down a station, unless I actually have to name it something specific, like the trash stations, all the trash stations have to be called trash. That's the way they work. Well, they don't have to, but yeah, they do have to. But yeah, all the trash stations need to be named trash. Actually, some of the stations are going to be probably renamed in the not too distant future. We just do more mining productivity. Yep. So yeah, a lot of stations need to, well, some of the stations are being put down, and they're taking a randomly selected either Twitch subscriber name or Patreon supporter name. So, like I said, not only do you get a bigger and better spaceship, but you also have a chance of randomly having your name pop up in the series and becoming a train station, at which point you will sit there probably from now to the end of the game and always look proud and independent and have your name permanently stamped on the map. Anyway, with that said, I think I've rambled for long enough. Thank you guys so much for watching episode 36½. Thank you guys so much for those who are clicking the subscribe button and coming and joining in the mayhem. Thank you guys for watching as always, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's episode. Alright, bye.